How's it going, guys, and thanks for visiting my channel. And today I actually have a special video for you this time, the YouTube creators, because everybody's got a YouTube little studio here. They need to splash some color in the background, or maybe not, but you need to light the background sometimes. And this is a projection screen from my home theater here, so I'm shining some color in the background there. And I'm going to be showing you guys this lights over here, which I'm going to review. And this one here is not part of the review, but you hear this fan here? That's incredibly loud, and this is going to be a big problem for your videos, right? Let me just make this thing shut the hell up. So, complete silence, and this is the stuff that I'm reviewing here right now. So I have to turn this back on here and temporarily annoy the crap out of you guys because nobody likes fan noise. But this light here is the light that I was actually using to splash some colors on the background here. I have a studio here, it's about 36 by 24. Something like that. Sometimes I shoot this way, sometimes I shoot this way here. Alright, so today I brought you guys here the RIUKOE, I don't know what's up with these names here. Same thing with the softbox, the Leofas, and then now this, I don't know how to say the name. Let me ask my wife. 这个名字叫什么念?
I don't know.
No, she doesn't know either. This light here is the light that was shining color in the background that you guys seen on my previous videos here, and I have to even modify without a fan, which I did a little modification here. Check it out. Complete silence, but what happens is this light's gonna get pretty hot. One day they're gonna burn out pretty quickly. And as you can see, it's very concentrated beam, so you can actually overexpose. I have to shine a lot of light in front of me here to compensate for the beautiful and accurate color in the background. Otherwise, everything is gonna wash out. It's gonna be a big white ring in the middle, right? So there's so many things that I gotta show you guys here about this light, because this thing is the Rolls Royce of the DJ lighting. And these particular ones here can definitely be used for cinematography. Not only they're fanless, they're made of cast iron, and plus they're dimmable. This one's here is very wiggly, made of plastic, awful fan noise, and it works if you do a little modifications here. This generic DJ lights here, the first thing that I hate about this little light is because the power cord is non-detachable, as you can see here, plus the length of this power cord is only 2.5 feet, and also you have to find an outlet for each individual light. This one here, not only you can actually detach the AC power cable, you can also daisy chain, as you can see here. There's a special cable that exists. I'm gonna be leaving the link in the description here. This light here, everybody knows what this is. This is the Godox SZ150R, and this is actually my top preferred light to go on a paid shoot with real clients. But why would I go through all that trouble here to set this thing on a stand? It's a heavier light. Then you gotta put the reflector here. Imagine how expensive that would be if I have 3 SZ150Rs doing this on the background for some reason, if you need that, right? And the front here is made of aluminum, and again, no plastic on this light except, of course, the lenses here. So if you have a huge studio room with a little neon sign on the background there's a door that needs to light up, and every single wall, whatever it is you want to do, this is also, again, a very inexpensive way to light the entire room, and also even twice as perfect if you have just like, you know, a small YouTube room, and then you just need a one light like I'm doing here. So this light can actually be useful for many applications, including for professional applications. You can actually bring these lights to a shoot. It doesn't matter if it is a commercial or a movie scene that you're shooting. Everywhere they need a powerful and concentrated RGB light. And then for the ultra critical color accuracy kind of material, you can actually use your RSky panel, your aperture lights, or the SZ150R, whatever it is. But let this light just shine a little something on the background. Now, just to shine a light on the background here, that's all you need. So I'm going to start here with the construction of this light here. This is not aluminum nor plastic. This is actually cast iron. This feels great in your hand. If you want to get one of these, wait until you actually grab the light. It's going to feel great. This is an air cushion stand, and this thing really wants to fall, just like a heavy light does, right? Second of all, the power cord here is fully detachable, and this is the same exact 3-prong grounded power cord that you actually plug behind your aperture light or any other big panel that you have, which is great. So if your outlet is about 30 feet away, just find a 30-foot power cord, and there you go. This light's over here, you need to plug in an extension cord, and also the annoyance that you actually have this thing in the way all the time. This one here, just yank it out, and that's all. And after you detach the power cord, this thing now becomes a flat disc in which you can actually stack this light to put it away. You can still buy very inexpensive DJ bags that fits up to 4 of these power lights right here. And these lights here usually come just with a box and a very flimsy little plastic bag, and that's pretty much it. This light here, because it is also cast iron, the manufacturer takes the additional step to actually pack the light this way here. And as you can see, it's the same shape of the light, so you can actually stack them right here, and the light is perfectly sandwiched together, and then you put another one on top of each other. And this light also has a full-size XLR jack for your DMX control instead of the flimsy RJ45, the ones that looks like an Ethernet cable. And by the way, they do include the cable with the purchase of every single light that you buy. It's gonna come with a cable like this here. This is also not only useful for your DMX control here, but for a short run, in case you need to plug in your microphone with a cable this short here. For example, you have the microphone, the boom here, and you want to clamp your recorder right here with a little short run to be nice and clean instead of a 25-foot cable. There you go, the cable is perfect for that. So here's one thing to keep in mind, that every time you plug this back in here, it's gonna start with something else other than the actual thing that you want here. So this light comes included with the remote control here. So before you use the remote control, in order for this to work, you have to select to DMX mode here. There you go, D001. And then to actually turn on the light, don't bother with the on and off, because somehow it's not really the way the light works here. Just hit on any of these colors here, and then the light actually turns on, and then you can actually turn on and turn it off. Another thing that you notice here with this light here is the actual beam angle. If you want a larger circle, you don't have to back out this light so far and also reduce the intensity or the brightness of the background. So this light here, if you want a small circle, you can actually make the light closer to the background. And these lights here, they are never dimmable. There's no such thing as dimming these lights. It is what it is, the colors, everything. This one here allows you to actually dim the lights. Right now I'm going to be showing here the full blast, as you can see, and then you can actually dim the lights to several steps until it is extremely dim like this here, and then it goes back to the full blast again. So the minimum setting, I'm actually having my face this close to the light, and you can barely see my face. And then as you increase the exposure, look what happens. So do you realize how useful this thing is in case you want to put something behind a lamp or behind something that's so close to the wall? You're not going to be blowing up your exposure. You just set up the intensity that you desire, and that is that. I absolutely love this here. You can actually dim. Like again, this is not really the regular DJ lights. This is actually great for cinematography. So what if you want a smaller circle? All you have to do is to bring the light closer to the background and actually adjust the dimming, and you have a perfect exposure and also a tiny circle. This particular light over here, to make a larger circle, again, you have to back this out very far away so the light can actually look this big on the background over there. This particular light here, as you can see, features a bunch of little tiny LED lenses, while this one here is a larger lens, which allows you to have a bigger light on the background there. Now, one very important thing here, it's a little strange, but this is the way the remote control the light works. Just in case you want to change the colors here, okay, everything is good, right? So when you try to do some, I don't know, some strobe here, for example, which by the way, you can actually choose the color here to white, for example, or red, or green. But this stuff doesn't matter to us because we're not going to be using this light for our YouTube this way. This is just a DJ kind of thing, but I'm actually demonstrating this also in case you are also the DJ and you want to know these features here. So if you're trying to get the solid colors again, even though you press the remote, it's not going to happen. You have to come here and press the strobe again, and then you go back to the solid colors, to whatever you want. And also you can adjust your intensity and everything. So these lights, they are fanless, and they've been on for at least 2 hours, and it's not even warm. This room here right now is 70 degrees on the dot, and this light feels like it's been off. Outside in July, you're probably gonna feel some heat here, but in this particular temperature here, it's not even warm. It's actually cool to the touch. And again, these lights, they don't have a quiet fan. They're actually fanless, no fan. And this heat sink here acts as a heat sink to dissipate the heat. So you can actually have these lights on all day. And before I forget, this video is sponsored by nobody. So they just sent me this lights here for me to test it out. I don't get paid to say anything here. And all I'm trying to do here is to review some gear for you guys. And my channel needs content. So thank you very much for sending me this light, and continue with the review. So here's the back of the light here. You have your menu, your up and down controls, and also the enter in case you need to actually memorize something here. So right now I'm at the color page, which the C I think stands for. So here's the color number 1, and press the up is gonna give you several colors here. About 15 of them. Then goes back to 1. Next over here is your DMX page, and remember to actually make the remote control to work, when you plug in the light, whatever it is that you do, you must be set to DMX here. The address doesn't matter, the remote control works either way. I'm actually changing the colors here right now with the remote, so it doesn't matter where you are, but as long as you are on DMX, and it goes from 001 to 511, and again, I'm clicking the remote here and it still works. Which, by the way, is something that I gotta say here, which is part of the instruction manual. In case your remote control somehow gets forgotten, let's say that you buy a new one and you need to reprogram the remote control here, as long as you are on the DMX, which is this little D letter here, all you have to do is to go to the front of the light where the infrared sensor is and press once the up and down brightness of the remote control, power off the light and plug it back in, and the remote control is now programmed. Now continue here with the DMX. If you want to set this light to master and the other one to slave, all you have to do is to plug the XLR here as DMX out, going to the other light, which is going to be acting as a slave. And then on the other light, you actually plug in the cable where it says DMX in. But the address here now with these cables, they need to match. It's not like the remote control that it doesn't matter what channel you are. So let's say that you are actually on DMX 002. So the other one has to be on E, matching the other 002 address. The only difference is that this light as a master is going to be on D, and the slave light is going to be set to the E letter. So when I actually control the colors here, they both behave the same exact way. And if you change the address here, for example, 002, this light here can temporarily be the one that you want to kind of change by itself. And then you go back to the 001 here, and then goes back to the full operation, as you can see here. And it also has some dimmer greens and blues in case you need something weaker. You got it. So you have the strong blue and the weak blue, the weak green and the strong green. Now if you want to do daisy chain with the lights here, you have to be the same brand, because the other brands and models, they have different circuitry inside. That's why they don't communicate. And to unplug the XLR cable here, you don't have to power off the light, even though I do recommend. But in case you accidentally unplug this thing hot, all it's going to happen is this light is going to be doing their own thing. When you plug this thing back here, it's going to go back to the DMX, in which you can actually change the colors just like you did before. For DMX control, you can actually use a 4-channel DMX or an 8-channel DMX. I don't have a DMX controller here, but if you want to use some sort of a DMX to make this light mimic the other one here. Next is your strobe or whatever, so you can actually go very slow or actually very fast. Same similar thing here. This is a fade, I guess, which you can also control the speed, very slow, very fast. Now here's the sound feature of this light here. In my opinion, this microphone is a little bit deaf, because you either need to be shouting close to the light or playing a very loud music, because if you whisper like this, not whisper, but talking normal, the light's not going to change to anything. Now if you want to speak a little louder, and then that's when the effect actually takes place again. So instead of clapping here, I don't want to blow up my VU meter, so I'm going to be actually tapping on the light, so you see what happens here. This is actually on a fade effect. I'm actually having to tap quite strong for this thing to feel. So it's not really that sensitive. And then you press this button here. Now it switches to colors, but without the fading. See that? So I think it goes random, so I'm a little confused, because when you tap here, it's fading, and then somehow it's going to be not fading. I don't know. There you go. See? Yeah, I think this is a random thing. Never mind. But it is a sound sensitive mode here. And these ones here are the RGB control. So to 255, it goes from 0 all the way to 255, right? The RGB, which I much prefer using the remote control for this. And then it goes back to the C, which is the colors, the 15 preset colors here. And that's pretty much the end of the menu here. So to wrap everything up here, I love this light, made of cast iron, which is very unusual, fanless, full dimming capability controls, large beam angle, and also the DMX or master slave kind of control here. What I don't like about this light, because when you plug it back in, you have to always tap here until you find the DMX thing. This I don't like. And the fact that this remote range is very short. I actually tested the little 3-volt battery that's replaceable, of course, that comes inside this remote control. So the battery is fresh, but your reach here is about a meter away or 3 feet. Other than that, it's not going to work if you actually try to control this lights far away. I don't know if it is the actual infrared that's not strong enough, or the signal here that comes out of this thing here. So other than that, the remote is great, but again, if you want to control the light, you're gonna be at a very close distance here. So that's it for today's review. I hope you find this content useful, and if you want to subscribe, that'll be awesome. If you want to give me a thumbs up, I thank you twice. And if you have any questions, I make sure I respond to everything that I see there. And once again, thank you very much for visiting my channel, and I'll see you next time.